All right, the rich today, someone else tomorrow?
It's not going to answer the whole question. That's not an argument against it. You got to start somewhere.
He was talking about tax rates and hiking taxes on the rich. So let's play this again. Time to rewind the tape.
You got to start somewhere.
It's got to start somewhere. All right? So the rich today, the not so rich tomorrow, we get it up to 39.6% as a top rate. Where does it go for other rates? Is it ending at that rate? And on and on. Dan Mitchell says, once the fix is in, the targets get wider, much wider. By the way, we did invite Senator Chuck Schumer to appear on today's show. No response. What do you make of that?
All through history, what we've seen is that any time the politicians want more money, they have to go after the middle class. A, that's where a lot of the money is, and B, rich people have a lot of control over the timing, the level, and the composition of their income. So if they do something like the Buffett rule, they're not going to get any revenue. You know, maybe it'll be that much. You know, there's a very scientific amount right here. But they'll do the Buffett rule, they'll go after the rich, and then when that doesn't help with anything, when the revenues still aren't there, then they'll say, well, gee, we got the rich, now you guys in the middle class have to cough up some money. And I think we've seen that pattern in Europe, we've seen that pattern in our own history, and I think what Obama's doing...
But we've also seen the pattern that it doesn't raise the money they owe. Well, in England, they cut back that millionaire's tax or uppermost income tax. In Japan, they just because they realized they weren't getting the money they owe.
But that's exactly the point. Because they put in that 50% tax rate in the UK, they lost money, but what did they do? They also increased the value-added tax rate by 3 percentage points. They've been going after the rich in Japan. What did the Japanese government just announce? A 5 percentage point increase in the VAT. So always, when it actually
they take from one pot and give another. Well, but the end result is the pot doesn't get any better.
Well, the end result, of course, is you have economic stagnation. But the key thing is the higher tax rates on the rich don't really raise any money. You have to go after the middle class if you're a supporter of big government, and that's why the middle class has a giant bullseye on its back when you're talking about the big spenders in Washington.
What worries me the most, and a lot of people say, oh, you know, you're anti-Obama and all this stuff. I'm just anti-spendthrift, anyone anti-spendthrift. And what worries me about this strategy, Dan, is that when they let their guard down, they talk about this isn't about taking this money and pairing the debt. It's done in the name of fairness. Congresswoman Woolsey here just a little while ago saying it's in the name of fairness, not toward debt relief, in the name of fairness. So then I'm saying, well, that means more government, more spending, not less spending, less government. So I'm paying more, others will pay more for more of the same.
Well, not just more of the same, more of bringing us one day closer to Greece at the end of the day. And remember,
why doesn't anyone see that? Or is it just enough to get us by to the next election?
It's I think election is the key word.
That's so you get your core out. What does it do? If you get your base out, is that enough to close the deal? Is that enough to win over independents?
Well, that's what you would hope that they would realize. Okay, maybe you'll win an election, but what happens after that with the United States? Everyone sees these long-run projections. It's not just speculation will become Greece. The Congressional Budget Office forecasts show it's going to happen even under their optimistic scenario if we don't get control of these entitlements. But Obama seems to think somehow just get past the next election. And again, just like you, I don't care whether you're a big spender with an R after your name or a D after your name. The problem is it's the spending.
It is the spending. Danny, thank you. Very good seeing you.
Thank you.